In Hollywood, it's easy to push boundaries and want more, but some celebrities have gone beyond what even golden-era stars thought possible. In this video, we'll look at actresses who stopped at nothing to satisfy their physical desires. You might be surprised to hear some of these famous names, who seemed ordinary but actually led wild private lives. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor's love life was as legendary as her acting career. She was married 8 times to 7 different men, but her affair with Richard Burton was the most scandalous of all. Taylor and Burton's relationship was intense and filled with passion, jealousy, and a near-obsessive attraction. They met while filming Cleopatra, and though they were both married to others, they began one of Hollywood's most famous and tumultuous affairs. Their stormy romance was filled with frequent breakups and makeups, often driven by their shared struggles with alcoholism and intense attraction. Taylor had many other high-profile relationships, including a notorious marriage to hotel heir Nicky Hilton and a widely publicized romance with Eddie Fisher, who left Debbie Reynolds to be with her. These relationships reinforced her reputation as someone who pursued passion and romance above all else. Taylor was often called a nympho because of her strong desire for love and men, and her bold personality only fueled this image. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner was famous for her stunning beauty, but it was her zest for life, love, and romance that made her unforgettable. Her relationships were often intense, filled with passion, jealousy, and a fearless approach to exploring her desires. Gardner's affair and later marriage to Frank Sinatra became the stuff of Hollywood legend, marked by heated arguments, even physical fights, and undeniable sexual chemistry. Gardner was also refreshingly open about her desires, adding to her bold and unforgettable image. Ava Gardner was once quoted as saying, "I like my old whiskey and my young men," capturing her love for thrill and adventure. While in Spain, she famously had passionate romances with Spanish bullfighters, reveling in the danger and excitement of these liaisons. Gardner was also linked to powerful figures like Howard Hughes and Ernest Hemingway, both of whom were drawn to her free spirit and bold sexuality. Her boundless desire for adventure, romance, and pleasure, along with her unwillingness to conform to social norms, made her a symbol of sexual freedom at a time when such behavior was often frowned upon by women. Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake's life became a cautionary story of Hollywood's extremes: fame, indulgence, and heartbreak. Known for her alluring femme fatale roles on screen, her turbulent personal life reflected a similar intensity. She faced multiple failed marriages and battled alcoholism, which fueled her reputation as troubled and self-destructive. Her captivating allure was central to her public image, and her romantic affairs with influential Hollywood men were widely recognized. As her career faded, her life began to unravel, and her relationships became seen as part of the descent that ultimately contributed to her tragic end. Veronica Lake's fame was built on her beauty and sensuality, yet these very qualities also led to her downfall, making her a casualty of Hollywood's fixation on youth, beauty, and sexual appeal. Each of these stars, whether through bold displays of sexuality, scandalous love affairs, or reputations as passionate lovers, added to Hollywood's legacy of sex and scandal. They became symbols of desire, indulgence, and often tragedy, with their private lives exposed to public consumption, fueling tabloids and reinforcing their images as larger-than-life figures lost to excess. Ingrid Bergman. In the late 1940s, Ingrid Bergman's affair with Italian director Roberto Rossellini sparked an international scandal that nearly ended her career. At the time, Bergman was married, and when she had a child with Rossellini out of wedlock, it was considered deeply shocking by American standards. The U.S. Senate even publicly condemned her, labeling her as a perverted instrument of evil, reflecting the intense backlash against her actions. Despite her wholesome on-screen image, Bergman's choice to follow her desires against societal norms brought harsh criticism. Unlike some other stars, she wasn't known for promiscuity, but her affair was seen as a bold act of defiance that ultimately cost her public approval and nearly her career. Marilyn Monroe. Hollywood carefully shaped Marilyn Monroe's sensual image, but it reflected her real-life struggles with intimacy and the need for validation. Her affair with President John F. Kennedy became one of the defining stories of her life, highlighting her role as both a seductive icon and a political risk. Her sultry voice and bold public appearances, especially her memorable Happy Birthday performance for JFK, solidified her image as the ultimate Hollywood sex symbol. Despite her glamorous image, Marilyn Monroe's personal life was characterized by a profound longing for emotional connection, which she frequently sought through her romantic entanglements. Her marriages to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller, along with her rumored affairs with prominent men, showcased a recurring pattern of turbulent and often destructive relationships. Monroe's sexual persona was inseparable from her true self, leaving her feeling confined by the very image that brought her fame. Her desire for male attention and validation, combined with her beauty and vulnerability, led many to see her as a tragic figure, a nymphomaniac whose insatiable sexual appetites became both her greatest strength and her downfall. Joan Crawford's image as an insatiable lover stemmed not only from her 4 marriages but also from numerous rumored affairs with both men and women. Many believed she slept her way to success, a strategy often used by actresses aiming to establish themselves in Hollywood. Known for her fierce ambition, Crawford's relationships were frequently viewed as strategic choices to further her career. She was said to have been involved with several of Hollywood's most influential figures, including MGM executive Louis B. Mayer. Joan Crawford's bisexuality was a topic of much gossip, with rumors connecting her to women such as Barbara Stanwyck and Marilyn Monroe. She was often described as insatiable, using sex as a means to gain power and enjoyment. While her sexual escapades were notable, they were frequently overshadowed by her image as a strong-willed and independent woman, a blend that secured her status as one of Hollywood's most intriguing and scandalous personalities. Her tumultuous romantic life and passionate affairs led many to label her as a sex freak by the standards of her time. Joan Blondell was celebrated for her sultry, street-smart roles on screen, but her personal life was just as vibrant. She was married 3 times, and her romantic relationships frequently attracted tabloid attention. Blondell earned a reputation as a sexually liberated woman because she defied Hollywood's expectations for women. She had many affairs and was known to have relationships with some of the most powerful figures in the industry. Her sharp wit and charm enhanced her appeal, and her sexual independence set her apart in a male-dominated field, even if she wasn't as scandalous as some of her contemporaries. Blondell's willingness to embrace her sexuality and autonomy earned her a reputation as a liberated woman who lived life by her own rules. Vivien Leigh's romantic history was deeply connected to her struggles with mental health, which made her both a tragic and captivating figure. Her marriage to Laurence Olivier started as a passionate affair while both were still married to others, characterized by intense emotions and sexual chemistry. However, Leigh's bipolar disorder often intensified her behavior, causing her to seek impulsive sexual relationships outside of her marriage. During her marriage to Olivier, Vivien Leigh was rumored to have affairs with several men and women, with her manic episodes often leading to sexual promiscuity. Her mental health struggles, combined with her beauty and sexual allure, painted a picture of a woman whose sexuality was both alluring and unpredictable. Despite her fragile mental state, Leigh remained one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses, and her tumultuous romantic life only added to her legendary status. Hedy Lamar's captivating sexuality was a hallmark of her career from the outset. Her nude scenes in the 1933 film Ecstasy were considered shocking for the era, quickly establishing her as one of Hollywood's most audacious actresses. Off-screen, Lamar's personal life was equally passionate, marked by 6 marriages that were often turbulent and filled with infidelity. Her romantic relationships added a layer of drama to her already intriguing persona. Hedy Lamarr was also rumored to have had affairs with influential men in Hollywood, including producer Howard Hughes. She was known for attending extravagant parties where sexual experimentation was commonplace. Lamar's striking beauty and intelligence, she co-invented frequency-hopping technology that paved the way for modern Wi-Fi, made her a multifaceted figure. However, her sexuality often overshadowed other aspects of her identity. Her multiple marriages and open approach to sexual freedom led many to label her a sex freak during an era when women were expected to adhere to more conventional roles. Lana Turner's dramatic romantic history was marked by scandal, but her affair with mobster Johnny Stompanato solidified her status as an icon of sexual excess and danger. Stompanato, known for his connections to organized crime, not only subjected Turner to physical abuse but also engaged her in a highly charged sexual relationship. Their tumultuous affair made headlines when Turner's daughter, Cheryl Crane, fatally stabbed Stompanato in a moment of protection during one of his violent episodes. Lana Turner faced many challenges as a Hollywood star. While known for her beauty and acting talent, her private life often overshadowed her career. She married 7 times, searching for happiness but never quite finding it. The age differences in her relationships often attracted unwanted media attention. The press loved writing about Turner's personal life, turning her private struggles into public entertainment. While magazines painted her as simply glamorous and wild, the truth was more complex. Behind the headlines was a woman dealing with real emotional difficulties. Hollywood and the media focused too much on Turner's relationships rather than understanding her as a complete person. They created a certain image of her that wasn't fair or accurate. Like many stars of her era, she struggled with the pressure of fame and public judgment. Tallulah Bankhead. Tallulah Bankhead was unique among Hollywood's golden age stars because she chose to live openly and honestly. While most actors of her time kept their private lives secret to maintain a proper public image, Bankhead was different. She believed in being true to herself. She was one of the first celebrities to be open about loving both men and women, which was very brave for that time period. Her parties became famous in Hollywood social circles, though they often pushed the boundaries of what society considered acceptable back then. Bankhead refused to follow the strict social rules of old Hollywood. At a time when movie studios carefully controlled stars' public images, she made her own choices about how to live. This made her stand out from other actors who felt they had to hide their true selves. Tallulah Bankhead was infamous for her voracious sexual appetite, and Hollywood gossip columns often detailed her affairs with both men and women, including renowned actresses like Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich. Her bold sexual escapades, combined with her penchant for living on the edge, often indulging in alcohol and drugs, led many to label her a sex freak and a nymphomaniac during a time of societal repression. Bankhead's refusal to adhere to traditional norms made her a captivating yet dangerous figure in Hollywood.